Microphone check. And let's get our screen share check. All right. Now we're going to make sure we're streaming in all the right places. All right. We're almost there. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes. Getting this shared into our Business Growth Lab group. I'm super excited for this challenge. I hope you all are too. All right. Get my notes pulled up. All right. It's April. And I've been waiting for April to hit so that I can run my Make It Rain challenge. So super excited to bring this to you all as I have continued to have conversations with business owners and people looking to start their businesses. There's a constant uh, I'd say five core lessons really that I keep hearing that you all really truly need to help get to that point where you feel like you can take that breath, where you feel like you've got a plan, where you feel like you are really truly planning for more revenue. Because over and over again, I see, especially us women business owners, just making it by. And one, it breaks my heart because we are doing so much. And a lot of this, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A lot of it is generational karma, generational curse, generational, whatever you want to call it, of women generationally have been taught to just make a little extra side cash. We really are most likely the first generation for many of us that are owning a business, that are pushing beyond just trying to help out the house. Many of us now are the breadwinners, are the ones who are paying all of the bills. And so we need to rewire our nervous systems, reprogram our minds, our habits to function in a new way. And so I say that to start us off. I hope that you can just take a moment and close your eyes and take a deep breath and just thinking about all of your ancestors and female mentors and all the people who have come before you have really set this up for you to now step into this new empowered role and giving them thanks for everything that they have done for us to get us to this point, but to also take that deep breath and say, I'm ready to step into that. I'm ready to release the lineage of suffering, the lineage of playing small, and yes, honor them with thanks and gratitude, but it is time. And to make that commitment to yourself and of course to your clients and to the ripple effect that is going to happen in your community, in your family, and to all the other people that you are going to inspire in that process. This is this challenge is not designed to chase more income, to hustle. Okay? Yeah, there's some of that. I'm not going to lie. But that's not the foundational energy behind this. This is about us claiming our worth, claiming our power, claiming a vision for more. This is about conscious revenue creation. It's about stepping out of confusion and into clarity. Who doesn't want some more confidence? And of course, we're all here because we want some more cash flow, right? because the truth is, all this change, all more of the choices, bringing in more peace, all of that comes with more cash flow, right? Because not dreaming bigger, not asking for more, not planning for more is keeping us stuck in a cycle of feast and famine. It's keeping us stuck in chaos. It's keeping us where we're continuously changing up our plan or lacking the clarity because we're like, what the hell's going on? Right? So, women, we are stepping into being in this role of we are women who plan. We are women who are taking aligned action. We are doing this not just for ourselves, but right, as women do, we're doing it for our families, we're doing it for our communities, we are doing it for building a better and brighter future. So, welcome. Welcome to the day one of the Make It Rain Challenge. I am so excited you're here. We've got some plans for this next 5 days. All right. So I am so glad that you're here. Whether you're just starting your business or you've been here for a while, this challenge will help you shift your approach to money and sales. Hopefully, my plan is forever. Okay. That's the game plan. So this week, we're not just trying to make money. And I really want to say that we're not just going to try to make money. And I'm going to keep saying that because I don't want you to show up for this challenge and like, well, I'm going to try. Let's see what she gives me. Like, I'm just going to try. Mm-mm. We're not playing with that energy anymore. Okay. We're showing up and we're saying yes to all this stuff that's on the screen right now. Claiming our worth, our power, and our vision for more. We're stepping into conscious revenue creation. Okay. We're stepping into owning our truth. Like, you get to earn more. You get to plan for it. You get to make it rain without burnout, chaos, or selling your soul. Right? Because I know many of us were like, Izzy, just give me something easy. Just like make more cash flow come in because I'm so tired. We're going to have to step into a new energy because we can't keep functioning from that energy. Okay, so we're starting today with something that most entrepreneurs skip. And I say it honestly, there was many a times because I've started this entrepreneur journey over so many times. There's many times I skipped this. And then when I finally did it, I was like, man, why did I keep skipping that? And I see so many people will come to a session with me and they're like, yeah, I know I need to do that. Well, I kind of thought about it. And this is the thing that people skip, and it's the very thing that is keeping them stuck. We're going to talk about money clarity today. Because if you don't know your numbers, you are always going to play small. So today we're talking about money clarity, just to give you an overview about what we're going to cover this week and why it's so important to keep coming and showing up for this every single day. Today is just clarity. We have to start with where we're at and where we're going. We need to make a plan today. Then we're going to start to hit the hard stuff. It's all important, but some really important stuff tomorrow. Okay. Then we're going to look at our offer because if we're not asking for money, if we're not putting it out there, what we can sell, and if we're not putting it out there the right way, and then magnetic positioning, and then we're going to have a fun Make It Rain activation on day 5. And then for all my BGL paid members, on day 6 is our office hours where we get to review, ask questions, get in there, deep dive. So let's be real. A lot of people are guessing their way through business. Anybody relate? I've been there. I've done it. I'll admit it. They say things like, I just want 5 clients this month, or I just need, right? Like, and we're focusing on that break even number. We're focusing on some arbitrary number that's been made up, right? Most people don't know if 5 clients will actually pay the bills. And maybe you do. You're like, this is going to help me scrape by. And by keeping thinking that way, or not thinking at all about it, avoiding it, I avoided that for a long time. I didn't want to write down my bills. And if I did, I was like under guessing. But you don't know if it'll pay all the bills, let alone most of us are not planning for, I need to make this much so that I can actually live the life that I want to live. Are you factoring in how much you need to make in order to build your savings account, in order to plan for a vacation, in order to hire your next employee? And if you're like, well, Izzy, but I'm just at this stage in my business where break even is what we're doing. Well, how long have you been there and how long do you plan to stay there? Let's be honest. This is some tough love this week, okay? And it is coming from love, but it's going to be tough love because you can only do that for so long. And that should not be the plan to stay there. We have to have a plan to get out of there. We have to have a plan for where the business is going. And I hope for all of you all that I can help you shift into this, like, I'm building an empire growth mindset. That maybe you want to have a storefront in the future. Maybe you want to, when you retire, because, we might want to do that at some point. Maybe we want to retire to just checking in and popping in with our business maybe a couple days a week and just make sure everything's running good and smooth. Most of us are not thinking that far in advance because we're so stuck in survival mode. And we have to start thinking beyond and planning for beyond survival mode. It is time. It is time for us to get out of that, to unstuck ourselves. Okay. So we really have to know the numbers. And so I'm really strongly going to encourage you you can start with, if you have a lot of resistance around this, to start with the fun numbers. I want you to think about, how many vacations do you want to go on a year? Because another thing I see a lot of people say, they're like, I just want to make 100,000 a year. Because for many people, 100,000 a year sounds like a lot. As a business owner, you are no longer allowed to make your goal be 100,000 a year. No. That is a really great salary goal if you're working for someone else, and you're over there playing it safe. But guess what? As a business owner, you are not playing it safe. In no way, shape, or form are you playing it safe when you chose to be a business owner. You were taking a risk. And risk gets reward unless you're defaulting back to playing it safe. Don't play it safe. Don't stay stuck in that. Don't run on that hamster wheel. Get off the hamster wheel. Can we make a commitment? Like, I want to get off the hamster wheel, and not just I want. I am making a commitment to get off the hamster wheel. So I need you today, not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Okay. I need you today to sit down and daydream. I need you to get really serious about knowing your numbers. How much does the life you want to live cost? Because you need to structure your business based on the life you want to live. And right now, the majority of us are structuring our business based on tolerating our current level of life. Do you want to keep tolerating your current level of life? Most of us don't, or you probably wouldn't be here watching this. Okay, that's the truth. Because comfort is our worst enemy when it comes to being a business owner. And I'm not saying that comfort does not equal peace. You can have a beautiful, peaceful, calm business that allows you to be out of your comfort zone and continuing to push beyond your comfort zone. That is completely possible. So I don't want you to equate those two things. I do not want you to think, oh, it's either comfort zone or struggle. No, because you're probably in your comfort zone struggling right now. Again, or you wouldn't be here. So we need to make sure that we understand how that's firing in our brain and in our neurons. So money clarity is taking your power back. Because money is typically how we associate our worth. Money is typically how we are associating our energy levels. Because I guarantee if your bank account is depleted, you're most likely feeling depleted too. Right? Oh, I've had that. That's a hard truth I've had to swallow a few times. Okay. When your bank account's depleted, you're probably depleted too. So, wouldn't it be great if you are pushing hard and there's the money in your bank account to reflect it? Because as you're pushing harder, your self care is also going to go up. Self care is extremely, extremely important as we start to elevate and up level. We cannot function in scarcity and survival. If we do, we will stay down here. So if you're like, this happened to me. I am not joking in any way, shape, or form. It was probably about 2 years ago. My business had been previously doing really, really well, really well. I was doing the most I'd ever done in my business. But I started running myself in the ground because suddenly I stopped practicing all the self care. I stopped, I won't say all of it, but I wasn't doing it to the level of what I needed to maintain the level that I was going at. I started playing at a different level and my self care started going here and then it started dwindling. And I really needed it to be stepping up, but old habits were coming in and I started burning out. And as I hit burnout, the bank account started burning out too. And I got to a point where every coach I talked to was like, what if you just took a week off? And I was like, I can't. I can't. I have to keep pushing. I have to figure out what's next. I was such in like just panic survival. But guess what? I stayed in that. Didn't make any good decisions, didn't get myself off the ground, and I stayed in that for about 2 months. And then guess what? Then the late fees and the bills started coming up. And then I guess it perpetuated again the hamster wheel. And I was just feeding the fire over on this side. And I was not giving myself a break. I was not allowing myself to shift back into love, abundance, thriving, hope, like all those good words. I was keeping myself from it. And the moment it really hit that I needed to start loving on myself so I could start functioning from a different level, guess what? Suddenly opportunities just started presenting themselves. I mean, it was amazing. It was like magic. Like people are emailing me, like saying they want to work with me. People are like thinking about me and texting me, and like just all of a sudden, boom, my energy shifted. And so when I say this with my own self proof that this is so true. Give money your focus, not in the sense that we're not making a money altar. We're not worshiping money. We're not putting money on the pedestal. Okay. But we're putting money in that category of your prosperity, of your wealth. And when I say the words prosperity and wealth, it is far more than the money in your bank account. When I say like health is wealth and all this stuff, like to really truly feel wealthy, most of us don't go, oh, bank account. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nothing else, right? We want a lot more. We want to feel lavish. We want to feel taken care of. We want to feel safe. And we function different. We make different decisions when we feel safe. So, and this is homework number one. You have to today. You have to make sure that you know. And I'm not saying you have to write down all your business expenses. That would be great. But you need a relative number that speaks truth to you. And for many of us, we are going to need to write down our business expenses because we need to know, yes, what is that break even number? But we also need to write down those things like, what am I working towards? How much do I want to pay myself from the business? Because your business really, truly, taxes are about 20 to 30%. So you're going to have to times whatever you want to make, then what your business needs to make, and then taxes. And we need to factor in all these things that you're going to start bringing on in your business this year. Hopefully, everyone's going to have at least one virtual assistant. That everyone is going to pay for a bookkeeper and a tax person. That we're going to have some operating systems that are going to help us out. I need you to sit down, and I tell my BGL members this, and probably every program I've ever taught. Sit down daily with the person you are becoming, with the most beautiful lifestyle, and sit in that energy, because you have to continue to shift into that energy of that person and write those things down. Be like, oh, yep, okay. She's renting a yacht at least once a year just to feel fabulous for a couple days. Like, what is it that version of you needs? Yes, there are phases and stages to get to that place. But until you start doing this, you are not taking one step closer at all. And so you're blocking yourself from having that potential success at all, right? So, like, you are worthy. I just want to clarify this. You are worthy of all of that. No matter what your past, no matter what you think of yourself, no matter what others have said about you, I truly believe like we are all worthy of this. And I believe that each and every person that is here watching this wants to help other people, wants to be a better person. So then why? Why not? So again, let's get honest. What does it really cost to live well? Not just survive, but to thrive. And this, hopefully, each year you upgrade this vision. I hope so. Because I hope that you keep seeing a new version of what's possible. Because most of us are so limited on our vision of even what's possible when we've been in survival for too long. Okay? I want you to have that big, beautiful house or big, beautiful apartment, right? Sometimes luxury apartments are better than buying the house. So you get to choose. There's no right or wrong answer. We're not judging and comparing based on what so and so believes and thinks. It's you. What do you need? So this is where you do need to, and again, this is the homework for today. You do need to know what your personal expenses are, what your business expenses are. And I want you to get excited about this when you're writing it down. Not sitting there going, oh gosh, do I really spend that much? Do I have to write down what I spend on this or what I'm not spending on this? Like, at least write down the ideals. And if you're avoiding it because you're like, Izzy, this is going to add up to a 10K month and my expenses alone are going to be 10K. And like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make that. Notice those thoughts. Okay. Because truly, we have to gain clarity around all of this money. It is such a beautiful neurological switch that happens that allows us to shift into I deserve more. I'm going to have more and feeling worthy of it. This is one of the biggest blocks that I see for people when we start getting into a lot of the serious business stuff. They are avoiding this. Now, not only are we talking about the money side of that, because I also don't want you to equate, oh my gosh, more money. That means I'm going to have to work more. Nope, that's not what that means. Because we're getting rid of this I exchange hours for money mindset. You're a business owner. You are no longer an hourly employee. Okay? You get to choose how your business runs. So I also need you to say, maybe this year you're willing to work the 30-hour weeks, but next year or in 6 months, you only want to work 20-hour weeks. Now, I'm going to be honest, for most business owners, we're not going to work less than 20 hours. Now, you might be on the flip side, you might still be working a job and you're working on your business. And right now, all you can give is 10 hours a week. Great. I love working with those scenarios because guess what? As you add more hours, you're just going to have to work on keeping yourself from working all the time. But if you can run your business in 10 hours a week, you're hitting gold right there, right? So thinking about how we can not exchange a 9 to 5 for an 80-hour a week job, because that's what a lot of us do, is we just work all the time because we feel guilty. We feel like if I'm going to make more, I need to be working more, or am never enough, and we're trying to prove ourselves. And I won't go down that rabbit hole. I could go for an hour just alone talking about all the excuses and subconscious beliefs we have here. So look at your calendar, right? We've done this in the Business Growth Lab, in our membership group. Really think about how many hours do you want to work a week? When is your business open and when is it not open? Because just working your business all the time and going with random. This random works to hours. It also works to money and to income. Random actions, random income. Who wants to stay stuck in random? Anybody? No? Then why do we keep doing it, right? Why do we keep doing it? Have a non-negotiable that, like, after 7 p.m., I'm not checking my DMs and responding back. Now, some of you all might say, I don't want to work during the day. I only want to work in the evening. Okay. You get to choose. You are the boss. You know, Tiffany, I know you love to stay up late, right? Like, if that's your jam, you're like, no, I don't want to. Good. Then don't. Switch it, right? Switch it. But for me, like, I'm shortening my hours and saying, here's the times that I'm willing to work and not willing to work. Because I really want to live in each season, right? Like, I want to be able to do the gardening. I want to go out for a walk and a hike. And I've done that to myself before, where a whole season went by and I didn't go for as many hikes as I wanted to. And I didn't go outside and walk. And didn't get to enjoy life. At that point, what's the point? What's the point? Because if you're working your business and you're working 60, 80-hour weeks, you're not making the money you want and you're not living the life you want, then what's the point? We have to give and take somewhere at that point. But we can also elevate all of it. That comes with strategy. That's working smarter, not harder, right? We know that saying, but we need to implement it. So let's get serious here. Again, this is day one. I really, truly need you can start writing this out now while we're talking if you want. Like, what are your expenses? What are your future goals? Know what it's going to take. You don't need to know the how right now. We're not getting into that today. But we need to know this in order to plan the how. And so most of us are floundering. I had a coach say to me recently, it was like Alice in Wonderland, the little cat, the Cheshire cat. And Alice was like, I don't know which way to go. And he was like, well, where do you want to land? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, well, then it doesn't matter which way you go. And so if you just want to keep wandering, then don't have a plan. And just because we have a plan, for those people who are a little off put by the thought of a plan, or you're a little off put by the thought of having routine, it's flexible. You're in charge. It is not a set in stone kind of plan. It is a plan that gives us a guideline and a framework. Because when we're having those days where we're like, I'm going to just go get a 9 to 5. Why we crave the 9 to 5 is because we want to be able to brainlessly check out for a moment and just do the thing and get paid. Then we have to create the structure for ourselves so that we have those days where we feel like we can just sit back and kind of do the 9 to 5 stuff. But we also want to have the planned days off too, right? So stop doing that as well. Stop not giving your self days off. I know some of us, we give ourselves way too many days off and we're not focused on our business. So you got to know you. All right. So we need to know what your personal expenses are, what your business expenses are, what your lifestyle you're building expenses are. Do you want to hire staff? Do you want to be able to take a month off each year? Do you want to expand the business? I need you to write these things out. Let's factor all of that in and create a real income goal. It's time to stop shrinking. When you have clarity, you have control. And when you gain control, your confidence skyrockets. You stop underpricing out of fear. You stop overworking for random goals. You stop running in circles hoping for a miracle. And this one number is the foundation for your pricing, your offers, your sales strategy, your schedule, your freedom. Clarity will give you choices. We get stuck in analysis paralysis a lot of times, or we keep changing up the plan because we don't have clarity on where we're going or what we want. And you need to be able to choose the path. Those paths that you choose and that choice that you have, your power comes with that. Your clarity comes with that. Your determination will come with that. So I want you to name that number. And it's don't get stuck on your break even number, or that's your low tolerance level that you're going to keep staying at. We need to say like, that's my number up here. My number is over here. And it's okay if you miss your number the first 2 or 3 months, but then after that, like, we keep reworking and figuring out our plan and our strategy. But if we're not even putting a plan and a strategy into place, then how do we know what to tweak and what not to tweak? That number should scare you a little bit, but it's the scary that's exciting, not the scary that is frightening and freezing. Okay. It should allow you to make braver decisions. It should allow you to price correctly. It'll allow you to start leading with confidence so that you're no longer chasing pennies or wasting time on low return tasks, because those are what's burning us out. Clarity gives you options, and options give you freedom. All right. Do we want to feel like we're a prisoner to our own business? Has anyone ever felt that? Like where it's like, I can't go back to a 9 to 5 because I have this dream in my head and I know it's possible, but I just can't seem to get myself there. And no matter if you try to go back to a 9 to 5 or not, it's just always there. And you are on a mission to accomplish and hit a certain level because you know it's possible. It's just the things you are doing and the other alignments are not happening. And this is our chance to align. And then it starts to rain. It like opens up the gate. All right. So we need to know our price and what our prices are actually going to be. So when we're looking at our offers and what those offers need to be, who we need to be selling to, we're going to suddenly see, oh my gosh, there's no way. There's no way the way I've been currently functioning is going to do anything or move me anywhere towards that. That realization is only something you can have. And I'm hoping to hold the space for you so that you can see that, because I was, as a hypnotherapist, that's the whole goal of hypnotherapy. With insight coaching, that's the whole goal of insight coaching, is you have to have that insight. I'm going to provide the opportunity and the tools for you to have those insights. Because I can tell you this stuff over and over all day long. And some of these things I know you've already heard, you already know. But that insight of awareness has to happen in order for your brain to finally turn on. Now let's talk about the emotional side of money. I mean, I've already talked about it a little bit. Sometimes the number we calculate is bigger than we've allowed ourselves to ever want. Right? So if I'm like, Tiffany, I want you to start making 50K months. Right? Sometimes, like if you haven't really truly thought about, like, sit down and really think about what is a 50K month going to feel like in your body. Most of us would start crying, and not a sad cry, but a beautiful, joyful, thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for making me feel safe. Thank you for seeing what I really feel I have to offer. I want you to set those big number goals, and I am really going to encourage you to not just say this affirmation here, but to feel it. To feel it. So again, we're getting out of those random actions equal random income, right? We're getting out of that. So I really encourage you to notice that inner critic of, who do you think you are to need that much money? That's greedy. Just be grateful for what you got, right? Those are normally our grandmas and our aunts coming up in our head, because that was their coping strategy for the time that they lived in. And we are doing this not just for us, we're doing it for them too. Because whatever it is that you want, and wanting to be supported, wanting to feel safe, is not selfish. We hope this for our daughters, our nieces, for all the little girls in our community, right? For them to feel safe and confident, to feel like they're being appreciated, that they can make more money. Don't we want that for them? Now, we do hope we also give them the wisdom and how to utilize that, but that's another stage of being a business owner. And I will continue to say, being a business owner is the biggest self-development project you will ever have, because once this money starts flowing in, guess what? Now the next challenge is how we manage the money. But guess what? If we've done all this pre-planning and this foundation of what we want to use it for and the life we want to live, and we keep stepping into that vision every single day and practicing and holding space for that vision, guess what? We're less likely to have to spend all of this time trying to figure out how we're supposed to be managing our money, because we've already been kind of secretly working on that every single day by holding this vision and doing this work with this money clarity that we're talking about today. So again, today, and I know this sounds more fluffy today, and it sounds like things that I could just kind of set on the back burner and just tell me the knowledge and tell me those quick tips that I can do and avoid doing all of this stuff. Today is the day that most people skip. It's the homework that most people avoid. And some of you all, like me, like I took so many trainings and I was like, damn, here they go again, doing the same presentation again. Every single coach, they start with the same. I'm getting so tired of hearing it. I remember thinking that. I remember thinking that far more than once. Okay. So I hear you. But I want to ask you a truthful, honest question. Each time you've heard it, have you actually done the homework? And not half-assed on the homework. I mean, really did the homework and really showed up every day and really started implementing it. This wealth is your birthright. The world grows in abundance, right? You tell an apple orchard not to produce too many apples, okay? Like the world is full of abundance. It's the humans that are restricting it. that are controlling it. Abundance is your birthright. It's your responsibility as a business owner to get clear and claim it, because we all know what those booming businesses in our communities, how they impact our community. Isn't it the businesses that we go to like the Girl Scouts group to get fundraisers, the sports teams to get fundraisers, when we want to host some big event and we need sponsors? Who is it that we go to? The business owners. It's the business owners that are supporting our communities. It is your responsibility to step up, take care of your community, and your community will take care of you. So let's do a quick exercise and then we're going to wrap this up. Take a big deep breath. And I want you to say this out loud. I know it feels cheesy. I am available for income that fully supports me. It's on the screen. I am available for income that fully supports me. And I want you to feel where that landed in your body. Some people, it's going to hit us in our heart. Some people, it's going to hit us in our gut. Some of us are going to go, ooh, I felt a response some way. For some of us, it's going to feel good. For some of us, we're going to feel that resistance. Money is a mirror. If you believe you're only allowed to earn just enough, that is what you will receive. But if you are allowing yourself to make more, and there's a difference between just saying, I'm going to like the actions have to meet the words. I know we've all known a person that's done that, right? They say one thing, but they don't act that way. Like, be the person that acts it. So make this declaration. And then here's our little recap. Okay. So we're stepping out of fog into focus. We're going to know our numbers. We're going to clearly see where those gaps are. And then we're going to start to reclaim our financial power. So you've got homework to do tonight. I just did this yesterday. And let me tell you, it was fun, but at the same time, there was all kinds of emotions coming up while I was doing this again. Because I try not to give you all stuff that I'm not willing to do. Truly. So I will tell you, I kept wanting to pick up my phone and scroll. I kept wanting to get up and go clean something. I would find myself getting up and fixing food, and I wasn't even hungry. And I'm saying this again, harsh love, check yourself, because it might happen to you. And you were going to sit your butt down and you were going to take those big deep breaths, and you can use that affirmation and say it over and over the whole time you're doing it. Step 2, this is the fun part. The fun part is I'm going to encourage you to go into the Facebook group and put in your real monthly income goal, like this big fluffy one, okay? Because there's going to be a whole lot of feelings that come up when you do that too. But it's going to feel so good when people are going, yes, yes, love it, go bigger. Because most of us, we can think it, we can say it, we can write it, but then when we step outside of like, oh, okay, I'm going to tell the group this is what I'm claiming, that's another level. You might say, I don't want to do that. That's okay. You can just say what your aha moment was, say what you are claiming. Maybe you do both. That would be ideal. And then hashtag it, make it rain challenge day 1. And then join us for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're doing our revenue reality check. We're going to do the math or stay broke. You get to choose which one. Don't skip today. I can't say that enough. Because most business owners skip this. I see business owners who've been in business for years, businesses who are making lots of money. They still have skipped this, and it's preventing them from getting to the next level every time. And we have to continue to do this occasionally, right? Like I just said, I just did this again yesterday. If you can see it, you can plan for it. All right. Go post in the group. Make sure like you're introducing yourself. You're getting a spotlight as you also talk about this. You're drumming up the excitement. You're reinforcing this in your mind. And I can't wait to see what all of your goals are. And of course, I'm going to encourage you to go bigger. I hope you all already know that. All right. I will see you tomorrow for day 2.